Hello everybody and welcome to another Wernicke video. In this video we want to talk about the story of Max, who has a fear. He's afraid of a certain type of animal. And we're going to read about this. It's going to be fun and we're going to learn a few words of English while doing this. So let's get started. At Camp Wildwood, all the kids had jobs. Max was very happy until he got the worst one. Feed the animals. It's not fair, he shouted. I wanted to make fires or go hiking. But rules were rules. So there is a camp. The camp is called Wildwood. And every kid there has something to do. They need to do something. And Max was happy, but then they told him what he needed to do. And that was feeding the animals. As you know, the word feed means to give food to. Feed, give food to. They need to feed the animals, and he doesn't like that job. He got the worst one, the worst. Let's learn bad. The comparative form is worse, and the superlative form is the worst. Like the worst job in the world. It's so bad. It's more bad than anything else. It's opposite to good. Oh, good, better, and the best. The normal form, the comparative form, and the superlative form. So he got the worst job, feeding the animals. He doesn't like that. I think it's crazy. I love feeding animals. It's not fair. He said it's not fair. Fair is like, it's not okay. It's not justice. Fair is about justice. He shouted, I wanted to make fires or go hiking. Pay attention to the phrase go hiking. Go with an ing, similar to go swimming, go running. So activities that are used with go, they are used with an ing also. He wanted to go hiking, but the rules were rules. He had to do it. The animals at the camp included 5 goats, 3 ducks, and 1 extremely angry goose. You can see the goose in the background in the picture. They're goats and they're ducks, which are kind of like cartoonish. And then there's a goose in the background. It's a funny animal. Every morning, Max tiptoed into the pen with a bucket of food. The goats tried to eat his shoelaces. So he's obviously scared of the animals, and when he goes there, he tiptoes. Tiptoe is a way of walking. It's a way of walking when you try not to wake anyone. Let me write the meaning here. Tiptoe. If I could copy it here. So tiptoe is a verb, and it means to walk quietly and carefully with one's heels raised and one's weight on the balls of the feet. Like Liz tiptoed out of the room. It's a type of walking where you're trying not to startle anyone. You go there. So he tiptoed into the pen. The pen is this area where the animals are kept. It's called a pen. With a bucket, as you see, he's holding a bucket of food. Let's write this word. Bucket. You know the word bucket list? It's the list of things you like to do, the dreams that you have. It's your bucket list. But bucket is something you can put food inside it, you can put water, and in the picture you can see he's holding a bucket. The goats tried to eat his shoelaces. So, you know, you have shoes, and on the shoes there is some string, some cord. It's called shoelaces. And the goats were trying to eat his shoelaces. Shoelace. Okay. Obviously, he is not liking it. The ducks followed him like he was their leader, and the goose stared at him with murder in its eyes. So as you see, the ducks are so happy. Oh, like, this is great. Let's follow Max. But the goose has murder. Murder is killing. He has murder in his eyes. Also, the phrase stared at him. The goose stared at him. Stare at someone is to look at someone carefully, deeply. That's stare at. As you see in the picture, the goose is staring at him with murder in its eyes. One day, Max slipped and fell, and the bucket flew into the air. Oh God. It rained goat food. The animals were thrilled. Max was not. So he was walking and he slipped. You know, before we learned the word tripped. In the previous video, we learned trip. Trip and fall. You're walking and then you trip and then you fall. But here, the word is slip. Let's see the definition of the word slip. Slip is to lose your footing. If I can put it here. Oh God. Slip. To lose one footing and slide. So for example, you need to be careful because you can slip and fall when you're taking a bath. It's very easy to slip and fall when you're taking a bath. But I also want to explain the difference between trip and slip. When you trip, there is something on the ground. Let's say there's stone. You're walking and then you trip. You stumble onto the stone. But slip is something that can happen in a place like the bathroom when you're taking a bath. That's why we say the bathroom is very slippery. Slippery is an adjective. It shows that it's easy to fall on it. It's a slippery slope or slippery surface. So you have to be careful when you're walking on slippery surfaces. There is also the phrase a slippery slope. It's an expression. It means a situation that can easily get worse. Let's make an example. Okay, related to my job, I'm learning languages, so I know that it's always a good idea to study every single day. Let's say one Monday you say, oh, I'm tired today. Let's not study today. Let's skip today. But this is a slippery slope. You should not fall into that trap because if you don't study on Monday, then you say, okay, it's Tuesday. Let's skip Tuesday also. It's a slippery slope and then you go downhill. It's a situation that can get worse every day. Let's see if we can find a definition for slippery slope. Okay, here we are. Slippery slope is a course of action likely to lead to something bad or disastrous. It's a course of action, a series of actions that can lead to disaster. For example, he's on the slippery slope towards a life of crime. So if someone starts to do some criminalistic act and again, then you say he is on the slippery slope towards a life of crime. So that's an expression, slippery slope. But the word slippery itself, it's just a quality of a surface that is easy to fall on it. Let's go back. So he was walking and he slipped and fell. By the way, the pronunciation of the word slipped, pay attention, because slip ends in a P, then obviously when there is an ed at the end, the pronunciation is with a T, slipped, slipped. So he slipped and he fell. And the bucket flew into the air. Flew is the past form of the word fly. Fly, flew, and flown. Fly, flew, flown. For example, I fly every day on an airplane. I flew last night, and I have never flown to London. So the three forms of the verb fly. So the bucket flew into the air. It rained goat food. Goat food was raining on them. Obviously, the goats are so happy. The animals were thrilled. Thrilled is happy. Max was not. Max was not thrilled. You know, some of our following videos are going to be about courage and fear and stress and obviously this is not a good situation for Max. He already had fear of animals. Now his fear might get worse. So it could turn out very bad, but it also, you know, could turn out very good, and it happens here. But over time, something strange happened. He started to like it. The animals knew him now. The goose even stopped trying to bite him. So over time, gradually. The phrase over time means gradually. Over time. For example, you can improve your level of English over time. Over time, something strange happened. He started to like it. The animals knew him now. The goose even stopped trying to bite him. Now the question is, how can such a disaster, well, like he already hated the animals and now he slipped and fell, how can that um, eventually lead to him liking the animals? And I think probably a part of the story is missing. Maybe the story doesn't talk about support network. This is something important. If you want to overcome your difficulties, your fears, and beat them, you need support networks. You need people who encourage you. You need positive reinforcement. Probably, who was this guy who gave him the job? Probably he was supportive and he, gave him positive feedback and supported him. That's something that you need in order to be able to deal with difficulties of life. This idea of support network is something we're going to talk more about in the following videos, where we read stories about stress and overcoming stress. It's an interesting concept. I think, let me see, yeah. The name of the book we're going to review, from which I told you, Support Network, the book is, let me just copy that. There are actually two, but the first one is The Anxiety and Phobia Workbook by Edmund J. Bourne. This book, in a part of this book, it talks about support network, or how to get out of, how to break the chains of stress and anxiety. It's an incredible book, and we're going to talk more about it later. All right. And there is a word here that we can learn, bite. 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 And the past form of bite is bit and bitten. Bite, bit, bitten. For example, the dog bit me. You never want a dog to bite you, right? And I've never gotten bitten by a dog. Let's see what else we got. On the last day of camp, the goose followed Max to the bus. Max smiled and said, "You're a terrible guard bird, but a pretty good friend." His parents were surprised when he asked for a duck for Christmas. So now he loves them so much, he wants one for Christmas. Let's read it again. On the last day of the camp, remember, for days, we use the preposition on. On Saturday, on Sunday, on the last day of the trip. So the preposition for days is on. On plus days. On Saturday. And he started to like it. The animals knew him. Knew is the past form of know. And the goose even stopped trying to bite him. Stopped. Pay attention to pronunciation. Stopped. They stopped trying to bite him. That's another grammar point, by the way. Stopped trying to. Stop plus gerund. If you use stop plus gerund, it shows that you are not doing something anymore. It's finished. For example, I stopped trying to bite him. Imagine how angry I would be, so that I would say, okay, it's enough. I've tried to bite you many times. I'm giving up. I stopped trying to bite him. But then some people use stop with to, but that's different. Stop to try is just a different meaning. So let's forget about that. And if you mean you finish, you don't do it anymore, use stop with a gerund, with ing form of the verb. Okay. On the last day of the trip. So here we got our expression, feed the animals, give food to the animals. Here are some examples. I feed the animals every morning before school. He likes to feed the animals at the zoo, and the farmer feeds the animals twice a day, two times a day. And at the end, oh no, not this page, next page. Questions. What animal have you fed before? Fed is the past form of feed. Feed and fed. Feed, fed. Feed, fed, fed. What animal have you fed before? Why is it important to feed the animals at the right time? And would you like to feed animals at a zoo or on a farm? I would rather feed animals on a farm. I would rather see animals on a farm. I don't like to see them at a zoo where they are kept, they're caged. So that's it. I don't think there is much left, and I hope you enjoyed the video.